Carner, Biofield tuner. Today's, today is such a big deal. Okay, my prism, the morning sun is breaking through on this new year in this new morning and casting rainbows all over. Welcome, welcome. These YouTube lives that I do are always appropriate. While I film them live, the tunings and the frequency and the sort of acoustic support, the medicine, so to speak, is always appropriate. So whether you happen upon this in the next several hours and it's still the first day of January in 2025, or if you find this video 6 years from now on YouTube, it's still appropriate. Today's today's theme, you know what, I'm going to move this camera just a little bit so that the rainbow doesn't keep swimming across my face. There we go. Let's see. Today's theme is really about the whole year, is sort of about all space-time going forward. Everything in me and everything that I witness around me and the people who I consider my teachers and whose content and ideas inform my cosmology, there is this pretty undeniable trend in all of the transmissions that 2025 is going to be a really pivotal year. It's going to be pivotal for everyone, regardless of where you are on your journey, so to speak, regardless of how much you are aware of yourself, or regardless of what lens you really look through. 2025 is going to be a year, you guys. So today's tuning is going to be tuning into the abstracted themes of this year, because everybody is going to have an experience this year, and everybody is going to be having their experience from where they are. Everyone's resident inherent frequency is different. Where they are in terms of their understanding of their own frequency is different. Where you are in your personal journeys, the mechanics of your life, your emotions, your wellness, all of the things, all of that is in a really, really different place. But everybody is going to be transitioning, expanding, evolving from where they are. So because this is a collective tuning, I'm going to tune into the frequencies and the themes of this year. We're going to be called more than ever to live from the inside out. The themes, some of the words that I'm getting are from Pam Gregory, an absolutely stellar British astrologer. I can't recommend her content and her channel highly enough. One of the themes I got from Lee Harris yesterday was for self-care. Self-care requires being self-aware. And I mean, that is really living from the inside out, right? So if you are inside yourself and you're living your life, being self-aware and caring from self, and then moving from that space. Those messagings, those words came from two different places, but the abstraction of it is absolutely crucial and really needed. So I'm just going to start from there. No more talking. Let's tune in. If everybody could join me in breath. Oh. Somebody says I'm on mute. No sound. Okay. Thank you for writing in, everyone. I'm trying again here. Thank you for writing in. let's see. If anybody can give me an indication if there is now sound. I unplugged my microphone and hopefully it's coming through the phone. I'm going to carry on with the transmission. If anyone feels like they can write in, Happy New Year, thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have sound now. Thank you. Thanks for writing in. I'm sorry to have lost everyone. All right, let me begin again. The themes for this year are living from the inside out. Okay. Living from the inside out, and self-care requires being self-aware. Everyone in 2025 is going to have an experience of this year. Everyone is going to have an experience of this year. And everybody is going to start from where they are in their own personal journey and in their own personal evolution. And so let's start with really grounding into the ground and into self. We don't have to be tense about this. To ground doesn't mean that you have to be still or even feel good. It just means you have to be present and be connected with where you are right now. Good. All right. Okay, good. I'm dropping us into ground. Excellent. Excellent. And now, to live from the inside out, we really have to have an established relationship with ourselves, with our body, to be embodied. There's like this feeling, all right, let's see if we can really drop this down to ground. If you can imagine, a golf tee being gently inserted into sort of soft, rich soil. Good, good, there, good. And if you imagine that golf tee to have sort of both discharge qualities and the ability to absorb, right? So both discharge qualities and the ability to absorb. So imagine discharging any sort of nervousness, anxiousness, agitation, distraction, right? Imagine being able to discharge that into the ground. If you want to make sound with your breath, good. You can imagine discharging that into ground. Excellent, excellent. Good. And in that same way, if you can imagine any sort of needed nutrients or minerals, healthy sort of spring water, anything that your system might need energetically from the earth. Nice. Imagine absorbing that up. Yeah, I guess few people are feeling a little bit depleted this morning. I get it. I get it. So imagine then this sort of personal golf tee that you're grounding through. Imagine you're being able to easily draw up anything, any nutrition, any support that you might need. Great. Good. Good. And now I'm going to come around and I'm really going to open up the space just above our heads, because this is, right, we receive information in all ways, 360 all the time. We tend to think that we see and hear information, but our body knows, right? Our body is receiving. The fascial sheath of our body is like the cell around the edge of the membrane around the edge of a cell. It is our sort of cellular edge, our fascial sheath, which rides around just underneath our skin. And it is constantly picking up transmissions from the collective field, from the space behind us, from 360 all around us, right? But this space right above our heads is really our pipeline input valve to the big space that holds creative genius, to the big space that holds all potential, right? All potential. Right. Right? Yes. Wow, that's really intense. Okay, let's stay here for a second. Wow, really good job, you guys. It is a thing, right? And it is the wisdom, the discernment, the intelligence, the noticings, the awareness, the driving forces, the consciousnesses and competences. It all comes from this big, unformed, light space, light tube that arrives to each of us. Really good. And this information, this pipeline, this input valve, literally all of this is good data. All of anything that you receive into yourself, not that you receive through here, through screens, through listening, through other people's sources, but from the wordless, quiet, big source space. This is the data that we need to riff off of. This is the information that is pre-algorithmic. The algorithms, the extrapolations, the artifices, and the reproductions, those are going to keep coming, and that's fine. That's part of it. That's part of the show. That's part of the divine unfurling, right? But if we sit and be still and listen to the quiet promptings from within, the inner voice that is informed not by busy mind, but by the formless wonder that is arriving to us in every moment. And if we listen and move from there and care for ourselves from there, that's the magic, you guys, right? That's what's going to make 2025 different for each one of you on the inside of you. There will be things that look different on the outside. There will be different ways that you move and be and create and generate. But they become externally noticeable later. That's the second thing. The first thing is reception. Then you integrate, then you transduce, then you make your unique transmission. We don't just simply receive and transmit. We do that, but there's an integral step in between if we take it, which is to integrate, transmute, transduce, which is the receiving. To be a transducer, you receive transmissions, and then internally you change them, you morph them before retransmission, right? Yeah. Your ability, your agency, your sovereignty to be aware and to caretake of your own frequency, that's where it's at. That's the ticket, as they say. That's right. That's right. You know, the phrase, like vibe check, or people are wrecking my vibes. Okay, so we do entrain to those around us, right? We do entrain to the collective field. This, of course, is a thing. But in the end, you always have agency on your frequency. You are the master of your own frequency. And everything in your reality is defined by your inner state. Everything in your reality is defined by your inner state. And your inner state is the only thing that any of us can ever truly control. Our time and our energy are the only commodities that we have. Truly have. And even at that, time's a slippery slope. But our energy, our frequency, how we are cultivating our combined energetic and cellular vibration in any given moment, that's us. And that's what we have control over. Really good. Really good. Okay, now that I've really anchored us all into the 2 points, I've done the Earth Star Chakra where we grounded into the earth. I've worked on this Sun Star, Soul Star Chakra to really be able to receive. And then the next little series that I want to do, I'm going to use some harmonics. And let me pause tuning just for a second to describe what I'm doing. So the necessity of embodiment, of being not just a floating head of information and thought, but to really trust your lived experience, to notice the signals and wisdom and indications and asks that your body, that your well-being is asking then of the quote man upstairs, right? Okay. So we're going to cultivate a circuit, which is basically from I want to inhale through the head and draw it down, like if you could imagine the air going through our sinuses and then down our esophagus and into our belly. So inhale into your belly, right? Kind of do a fish hook. And then as you softly or strongly exhale, imagine inhaling from the head down into the belly, and almost if you can imagine the belly like a little love trampoline, and then have the exhale radiate like a mist right out through either the heart chakra or even the high heart chakra. A lot of us operate from our high heart, so if you can't get into your heart, really imagine sort of vaporously exhaling out through the high heart. All right, so let's do, I'm going to do 1 or 2 breaths all together. So inhale in. Good. Let's do that again all together. And it is this circuit of connectivity, right? Head into solar plexus, right? Third eye into power center, and then to radiate softly, radiate softly then from the heart space in action and in word and in thought and in deed. Good, good. Good. Okay. Mm. These are harmonics from a C and G set of musical note tuning forks. And the C-G interval, like you would do on a piano, is a really tender frequency set that really helps remind the body that it has inherent ease built in it, and that we can trust it and that we can tap into that at any time, at all times, right? Yeah. And just by making that connection, that is upping your self-awareness, right? That is improving your self-care game just by breathing through, right? Just by imagining the circuit of breath through your actual meat suit. That is creating deeper awareness, deeper self-awareness, deeper presencing. And then if you think, okay, Rebecca, well, that's great. I followed what you said about the breath, but I still don't know what to do. That's okay. You don't have to know. You just have to keep that sort of cycle on spin, sort of activated. And then as you imagine vaporously transmitting tenderly and softly and diffusely from your heart chakra, the actions that then get led from that becomes what you find yourself doing. You don't necessarily always decide. It's just like, I kind of felt like I needed to go, or I felt like I wanted to pay that person the compliment, or when I just sat and breathed in the sun, I felt better and somehow more well-resourced, although nothing had changed. Yeah, that is being the master of your own frequency. Woo, there, that. And then the actions come from that state of being. They don't come from a driven, deciding choice point. They come as if you effortlessly rise up and then just take a step forward, almost as a surprise to yourself. That's quiet guidance, right? Good, good. All right. The quiet guidance. I think it was Andrew Huberman quote when he said, there's an awful lot of high amplitude transmissions from blunt instruments or something like that. Right. The dominant oscillator, right. Okay, so in the frequency world, there is a thing of the dominant oscillator, right? The sort of, if you imagine a room full of grandfather clocks, the sort of largest pendulum is going to be the one that has the biggest swath of momentum, and it will become the dominant oscillator to which all the smaller pendants then entrain themselves to. So interestingly enough, we have in our society really given a lot of credence to loud or frequent or common, right? A common transmission must be the thing, but it isn't really the thing. It's just common at this point. And it's up to you, again, as masters of our own frequency, we choose what we entrain to. We choose what the dominant oscillator in our lives will be, and it doesn't have to be the most frequent, because if you see something and then see it again and then hear it again, you can still turn that down and listen in, draw down, and you can mark that as your dominant oscillator. That is where you, and good, oh my gosh, really good. Great. Yes, that, you guys. Ding, 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 ding. The dominant oscillator doesn't have to be the loudest transmission. We get to choose. Again, Tim Ferriss said in a recent email blast of his that our attention is going to be one of the most precious and meaningful knowings that we have in this next year, right? Where you place your attention, internally, externally, that is, it is critical. It is crucial this year. Yeah. Nice. 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 That felt really good. All right. I'm going to strike a couple of 220s. And really just drop into being, right? This coherence that we just created. And this sort of this pathway that we just tuned into, which can be easily strengthened and fortified, little bits in every ways, with any breath that you think of it. Great. You can return to that pathway, cultivate it, bring in the gravel, make it a gravel road, right? Bring in the pavers, right? Really, the more you trod a path, the more you follow that pathway, the stronger it gets. This is 417. Yeah, we're going to shine that up just a little bit. That's right. As simple as a breath, the more you trod that pathway, the more defined it gets. And the more defined it gets, the, the, the better your life is, right? The more authentic, the easier it is to cultivate your own integrity and authenticity, your own unique voice. And living from the inside out is all about expressing our own unique voice, not necessarily screaming loudly about our pain points. We need to tell our stories. We need to have our community. We need to get the support we need. But then to generate, create, and live and be generative from your unique source point. And being able to hold more coherent frequencies throughout more of your body and caretake that coherency and create from that coherency all year, every day, you guys, every day. This is the theme for 2025. There will be many themes that come in. This year will be tumultuous. Things will shift externally. Not all of evolution is always uncomfortable. But cultivating this pathway and knowing that you can return and that you have agency and that you have mastery over your own frequencies and your own frequency bandwidth, and being able to return to these practices, that is how you navigate what's coming, and that's how you navigate what's coming well. Even if it's hard, even if it's uncertain, even if it's totally new, a little bit confusing, you can still navigate that well. Yeah. When you drive somewhere at night, when you turn on the headlights, you don't see the destination right away, but you get there the whole way by just the illuminated space in front of you, by maintaining and mastering and caretaking clean, coherent, beautiful frequencies within you. You get to your next best place, even though you may not be able to see it yet. You get there just like this. Good, good, good. All right. All right. I'm going to end by wrapping up our field. I'm wrapping each to the one of you. Each to the one of you. Your energy, these tunings, this acoustic and sonic and vibrational support. So good. It is yours. 'Tis yours. Nice. Nice. Right on. Right on. Wow. To Robert, who has written in, you are most welcome. It is my joy. I love my work. My hours for the first several weeks, I guess maybe 2 months of this year, are online, RebeccaCarner.com. In-person, distance, any kind of session can benefit. You don't have to be in the same room with me, clearly, to get the benefit of this. There will be more collaborations and group work in 2025 for me. I'm not sure what all that's going to look like, because it has to arrive and then come through me. I cannot wait, you guys. I'm right here with you the whole time. 2025 is gonna be a trip. Hang on, you're not in it alone. We are all connected. I love you. Happy New Year.